Hi, Chef Jeff here for Reinhart Boston. I'm with Earl Rowland. Earl, tell us a little bit about the beef market and where we're headed right now.
Well, the market, as most people know, is very, very strong right now. We've seen unprecedented increases in the last year on beef and pork to the tune of between 20 and 25% of the costs of the product going up year over year. World protein usage is way up. We're exporting more product. We create and we grow, and we are the best producers of beef in the entire world, as well as pork. And a lot of different market changes, and we're seeing a lot of companies being bought up by overseas companies, things like that. So we're in uncharted waters right now, and the outlook for the future is much more of the same. These prices are strong. They're going to continue to be strong. We're trying everything we can to keep the prices reasonable, doing our best to buy the product at the right times and move through these difficult situations. But we really need to take a hard look at where we're heading forward and get used to the fact that prices are going to stay very, very strong.
Now, we do some fabricating here, and I'm an advocate for portion-controlled items because as a chef, in my mind, I know exactly what that piece of meat's going to cost me that I'm putting on the plate. Now, I know I've had customers that come in here and I use this piece of meat for stock, or I use it for hamburger and stuff like that. But the reality is if we're paying $6, $7, $8 a pound for that stuff, we're paying $6, $7, $8 a pound for that stock, fat, or that ground beef. So with the idea of portions, I mean, do you agree that maybe that's something our customers should take a look at?
Absolutely agree. To your point, if you get a 12-ounce sirloin steak, you have to cut that out of a sirloin strip. Generally, your yield is 50% or less. Once you trim that strip, cut it, take the vein end out, and all the things that you need to do. So now, if you're paying $7 a pound for that, you've got $7 a pound hamburger, trim, stock, all the things that you had mentioned. If you go out and pay for a 12-ounce center-cut portion sirloin, you know exactly how many you bought. They're perfect. You know exactly when they came in. You serve them. You get that back. Now you need to buy the alternatives at the $3 and $4 a pound to fill your needs on the other items. That's where you can save some money. So in the less product you're throwing in the barrel at $7 a pound, you're going to save on that end.
Right.
It helps you be more efficient in your kitchen, as you well know.
Absolutely. And for some of our higher end restaurants, we offer another solution. We do have higher quality meats, and if your restaurant can get the kind of prices that a lot of white tablecloths get, maybe you should consider buying more of a branded products and tell the story. Talk about the product, a little bit about the history behind it.
Sure. One of the lines we carry is a National Black Canyon Angus beef. We have two different lines, actually three different lines in that. It comes in Premium Reserve, Regular Choice, and Select. This will upgrade your menu. It will make the eating experience for the customer better. It's a little bit of insurance where you're buying a little bit better piece of meat so you don't run the risk of having a bad eating experience. And now, if you're paying 50 to 75 cents more a pound for that product as it equates to an 8 or a 12-ounce strip steak, it really isn't that much different as far as your plate cost. And like you said, you put the Angus logo on the menu, certain things like that. You can maybe raise your menu price, show some more value, and get that in return.
The other thing is that, you know, we have customers come to the test kitchen, and, you know, I'm hearing food costs from everybody that's coming in, and rightly so. The cost of food has been going up over the years. Come into the test kitchen, and what we do is we show you alternatives, things to make your menu a little bit more profitable. Maybe there's a market segment you're not getting. For instance, you and I are talking about a good customer of ours that has now added pizza to his menu, so he can use some of the proteins that he's using elsewhere on his menu, on his pizza, get a better value and a higher yield to maybe offset the cost of those proteins someplace else on the menu.
A lot of people are doing that. Cutting down on the size of the protein by adding different things to the plate. So if you're serving a rack of ribs, you serve a half a rack of ribs with a piece of chicken. Cuts your cost, gives the customer the value, and you can maybe get an extra $1 or $2 for that. So there's certainly those things, and as they come in here, you can show them those things and how you can take from a serving cost, because ultimately you're paying for that product. So if you're serving 12 ounces of meat for a steak, but you can put something on a pizza for 4 ounces and get almost the same amount of money for that with the perceived value, it's a win-win for everybody.
All right. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chef.
Chef Jeff from Reinhart Boston. Thanks.